Hey everyone, here we are continuing that interior. So today we're going to go over a minor detail pass to go through it again. Then we're going to add our decals, maybe acoustic spaces, ambient lighting, stuff like that. I don't think this will be as long as a video as last time. We're also going to fix problems that we saw in our little last time video. So, yeah, so here we are. One of the things I wanted to do was, if we recall last time, this rod sticking up straight through the ceiling. It kind of just looks bad. So let's actually fix that right now. Oh, I have my thing turned on. As you can see, it's still sticking out. So bam. That's how low it needs to be, which is very low, actually. Take a look at this real quick. Oh, look. Cage light short on. We should do that. Okay, so it doesn't have the rod at all, which might actually be good. You just have it placed directly on the ceiling. Works for me and solves the problem of it sticking out of there, because I felt like it was hanging too low before. So yeah, let's save. Oh yeah, I wanted to give a quick disclaimer. Everything I'm doing here is totally off script. Got nothing to go on, so it's all entirely random what I'm doing. I'm just looking at it and making changes, doing different stuff. So, when we were walking through, I felt like the overall detail was not up to par with what I find to be acceptable. And I'm not talking about the decals. We'll get into that later. I'm talking about, little bits of trash, stuff like that. I want more detail. Make it look better, Because, it looks alright, but you can always do more. So we're going to do that. So something we can do is, I remember over here we placed this vent, some grebe. Let's place some more vents around. Make it look fancy, Oh. Put it like that. Or we can actually put it up here, just because. But, actually, I'm going to put a bigger one in there. A good thing to do is, you see how this line breaks between these pieces? It's nice to overlap stuff to really make it seem more seamless. So let's do that. Bring this over here after duplicating it. Hit Control F to look at the larger grebes. So we have grebes 1 through 6. I don't know why, but I was just pointing at the monitor with my my left hand. Anyways, 1 through 6. 1 is the smallest, 6 is the largest. So we're just going to go up. Let's go with 3. Just a medium size. Bam. That's not always how the CK works, but I just know from experience on that one. I'm going to bring it up. It looks alright. Something here. Obviously, there should be a window here. So we're going to type in window. And we're going to go hit, H-I-T, hit window glass. 01, I believe, is perfect. Yep, perfect glass. Well, I mean, dirty, but I want broken glass like this. We can put it on the grid, and that will make it nice and snap it in like so. Oh, look at that. We did have glass there. Full glass. Get rid of that. I want broken glass. Looks a lot better like that. Yeah, look at that. Let's hit save. Alright, let's take a look. Guess we're not really done with this area. Just feel like there could be more. Like, sometimes you just have to take a step back and look at it. I know over here we have these. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, that always improves things a little bit. You can also do some material swaps, flip things around. Did I go behind the window? No? Alright. Oh, obviously I'm editing this with our effects layer off, because it'd make it really difficult otherwise. Another common type of debris here, like this, is the debris pile. So go up here, hit debris pile tiles 01. Well, hold on. I think it's up more. Yeah, there it is. Let's create some more damaged look. Something's going on up here, so I think, yeah, here we have a actual hole in the ceiling. Might as well take advantage of that. Before I place stuff down, since this stuff here is going to be covered, I'm going to move it over here temporarily and not forget that it's there. Yeah, there we go. So that kind of looks good. I put it over there, but be careful that it doesn't really go through here. It looks fine. Okay. Let's bring back one of these pieces. Like so. And over here. That looks pretty good. Hide it partially under the trash here. And you don't want to just like place this giant pile of debris. You want to feather it out with similar debris that is smaller and flat. Looks a lot better. Then we have this left over, which is probably floating a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. We can just put it right there. Notice that because we did the Control F, the find and replace, search and replace, it kept the current material swap from this one here. So if you dragged and dropped it from here, change it over to the retro theme swap. And again, I'm doing this assuming you're following along, or if you're just watching, whatever. Let's go over here now. This area's really blank. I'm not really a fan of it. We can mix it up a bit. I'm trying to think here. What's a good way to do this? I mean, this is fine, but we can do better. I'm just going to straight up delete that. I'm going to throw this over here temporarily. Got this big piece of floor here to work with. I want to replace it. Whoops. Let's replace it with a through bottom. No. Well, tough choice. Let's take a look at that. That's not as much as what I want. Don't want that either. That looks nice. Yeah, look at that. We can take this over here. Well, no. That's perfectly flat. I want a cave ground part. That starts right... Where is it? Oh, this isn't sorted. Much better. Room floor 256 should do it. So just drop that in there. Because remember, this is underground. So looks like if we go over here, the void is visible a little bit. Bring it up to like that. That seems to cover everything. I'm also going to scale it up a little bit just to make sure it's covering everything. But if you look at this angle, you can see that brightness is the void. So something we can do is take this object, that object, and that one should be good. Or not. Oh. Pop-ups. Put that there. Yeah, let's grab all those pieces. We can hit Control F and change it to the solid full 01. And bam. Then we're going to take this part right here. Actually, let's test it out. Make sure it worked. Yeah, I can't see the void anymore. So now we see that instead. So yeah, now you can see the green. That's the case over there. Let's take a look at this one. So if we change it to full 01, it's going to be a that. Which I guess isn't that big of a deal. We can put that over there too. Select this, bring it up. Move it around and see where it fits. Like so. Just as you can tell, it adds more dimension to the room other than what was just a flat piece of floor. So we want to change this and that with full pieces. Just to cover up those gaps again. And then this one as well. Turn on the grid. Duplicate, move it over. So that way everything is covered up. We're not going to see the void from any possible angle, because that's that immersion breaking stuff. And look at that. Very nice. Yeah, not bad. And then you can add even more detail to this in general. For example, we can type in, or actually you can type in debris. And scrolling down to hit debris pile tile single 01. Rotate it a bit, mess with it. Change it to retro swap, duplicate it, move it around. Go like this. And I'm going to turn it to under panel. And I think that this one over here is going to be fine about that. Then I'm going to type in root. I'm going to go with forest root 01. Kind of looks like that. And scale it up, bring it down. Make sure it's not crawling through any of the metal. Or at least try to avoid that. It's not always that easy. See, it's going through this piece of metal right here. We can just move that a little bit. Yeah, that works. Same thing over here. Put the one underneath entirely. Oh, I'm upstairs now. There we go. I was going to do tree root 2 or 3. If you have Far Harbor loaded as a master for your file, I prefer to use their tree roots, which is the tree pine root, I believe. It looks a lot better, I think. I'm just not happy with the way this is facing. If we come from over here. That works. Yeah, not bad. I think this is fine as is over here. So we got that. Another idea is to have, let's say, the roots growing outward. Or, you know, this happened some time ago. What if the roots are actually growing out of the floor through this giant hole? Experiment with that. Like so. Not bad. Looks interesting. Let's go ahead and hit save. Yeah, not bad. All right, let's take a look at this interior. I think probably, oh, look at this. This has the wrong material swap on it. There we go. I want to grab this over here that we used up earlier, or hid earlier. Use it on this little room here. Not bad. Just type over here and test something. Okay, yeah. Cool. Alright. So I'd say this walkway has probably got plenty of detail. Let's hit save. This area, I think for this I'm just going to hit group poster. Or just going to type in, it might be like group collection poster or something. Oh, generic poster group, that's what it is. Throw that on there. Be sure to turn on your angle. Look. So I'm going to bring it out just a smidge. You only want to place it on the flat surfaces. So I'm actually going to place this over here above the water fountain. I'm going to take this wall, hit Control F, turn it into a garbage ball, like so. I need to find it, but something I like to do on these corners, you know how over here this is a nice smooth actual corner piece. If you use two flat walls and merge them together like this, that doesn't look very good. So what we got to do is put in another piece. I just have to remember what it's called. I think this is hit large room, right? Yeah. Sort. We're on the bottom, so bottom wall corner and cover, I believe is what it is. Yes, this is it. Basically, it's a smaller version of that. And it can be aligned to the grid. Just plop it in there like so. And line it up. Look at that. I think that looks a lot better. And then, of course, retro theme swap. Oh, that's the wrong one. But it worked anyway. I think that looks a lot better. And you can do this to the other side as well. But notice we have this here. So we'll get to that in a second. That's good. So anywhere else we're doing that? Yeah, right here. I don't know if we have enough space right here. So I'm gonna see if I can drag this out as far as I can, which looks to be right there. So you just drop that in there like so. It spins on an annoying axis. There we go, looks lines up. Oh. Material swap. It looks like, so now we have this kind of smoothed out looking wall. So we do the same thing on these four corners, or at least, well, let's experiment, I guess. It fits. What is this again? Retro theme swap 2. So what does that look like? It matches. It's just a nice little detail. I don't think we can really do it to this corner, mainly because of this window. It's so close to the edge. This takes up some room. We can't really move this wall very much farther back. But it is really annoying me. So we're going to do it anyway. I'm just going to move this wall back as far as possible. Remember, this takes up space, so you can have some unwanted space there. Or open space. So take these, duplicate, flip them around, move them over. Like that. How does that look? Oh, so close. As you can see, it's still sticking out of the window a little bit. Let's take these pieces, move them over just one. Does that cause any problems up here? No. Back here? No. So it looks good. Yeah, so it looks a little bit more smoothed out. And I think it's really worth it. Again, we have a problem over here. So let's just take this corner piece. And right there. You can even do it to the other side, unless it sticks through over here. And it doesn't. Ooh. Well, yeah, we don't need it. Let's hit save. Take a sip from your drink. Alright. For the most part, we just really improved this cell a whole lot without even adding in the real detail. So we have this area, which looks alright. I feel like, yeah, that green over here, I want that. Put this in, and bam. See if we can stick it out a little bit more. Nope, that's the full thing. Duplicate it. So let's move it over. Control F. What's 4? Okay, sure, why not? We can do that. I'm actually going to scale these down a little bit and move them over. So we can move this over. I want them to be the exact same size, so. You know what? Cut that. I want this to be center with the aisle because something I like to do with this piece is you see these bulges? Something you can do here is with the pipes. So just type in pipe. Scroll down to IND. Small, probably. Small pipe, two-way, 01. It might be, yeah. Let's go with tiny, two-way, 01. It's also quite small. Whatever. We'll go with the normal. This one here. We'll just scale it down in a second. Align your stuff. So I'm going to go up here because it's kind of crowded in that room. Then I'm going to grab the one way. It's going to be sideways. I want it to be like so. Get it back in there. Now we're going to scale it down just one at a time. Scale it to an appropriate size. Let's turn off those things. Double click it, go to 3D data. The scale is at 0.56%. 0.56 on that as well, so that it will be the exact same size. And kind of just manually place it there. Again, to fine tune, you hit the back or forward button on your mouse if your mouse has the button. Otherwise, I'm sure you could probably manually or keybind it somehow in the render window. So you can go to edit, yeah, render window hotkeys, and then you can probably set it there. I'm not sure. I'm going to go to big pipe, scroll down to socket 02. Turn on that. Scale way down. We're just going to connect this to pipe right here. There we go. Just a nice little add-on. It's interesting. And I just noticed that this is a perfectly flat wall. So I'm going to replace it with number 2. There we go. So I just add a little bit of detail there. This isn't sticking through the next room over, so no problems there. This interior I think is fine for the most part. Something else you can do is, so I have the light right there. Let's replace it with the ceiling piece with a through topo 1. Can bring that up. Not bad. I don't think this is going over the next room, so yeah. Just to make this thing look a little bit better, I'm going to move parts over. Yeah, I think it looks nicer. So you can see the rim of it still sticking out there, so it overall looks like it's plausible. I think we're done with the bottom floor. Let's hit save. That only took half an hour. Alright, up here, yeah, we're skipping that. There's quite a bit of detail here already. Again, we have corners where better corners could be. So I'm going to turn the grid back on. Grab this piece right here, copy it. And move it there, paste. Oh, it's too small. There we go. Or on the floor. And replace this with, I think it was lab theme. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, looks good. Not bad. I think the rest of it's probably fine. I guess something you'd expect to see on a table is a pail, like a lunch pail, assuming I typed that in right, which I did not. It was the other pail. Ugh, that's annoying. Lunch pail. Very nice. Bathroom. Things you can find in here. The first aid is probably fine. Oh yeah, there's it. Can you even get to that? Maybe. I'm not sure. Possibly. Anyways, things to see in here. We can make things different. Notice how each one has a door closed. You can have some open by default by double clicking and then checking that flag. You can see it's now open. You can have some that are partially open but without the flag. Just make it a little bit different. See, there's a bent stall doors. You know, damaged. I don't think there's a third one. No, there's just the two. And I suppose that's fine. Yeah, not bad. I guess in some bathrooms there are lower ones. Let's do that. Not bad. I guess we can add in those corner pieces, like this one here. There we go. What is this? Theme 03. Do it to both sides. Just looks so much nicer. Let's save. We can add I guess a plunger, for example. Let's throw that in the corner. Then I guess just for the fun of it, could put a plunger in here. Turn on Havoc so it can fall over. Oh. Oh, wow. That worked out really well. We'll keep that down there. Look up, see a bathroom. Look at that. It just makes sense. That's my dog. And let's hit save. And we're not going to work on that at all. So we just did another pass, added more detail, made some changes, fixed some issues, standard stuff. Now let's work on decals. So, hold on. So, for decals, I like to add a new layer. To decal was set that as active. This way I can turn them on and off because decals are markers, and when you have markers on, things can get a little hard to see and click on things. So I'm also going to add a new layer. Mason 802. Oh, I didn't mean to add that underscore. Hide this. And now I'm going to turn that off. I want to hide that. So I'm going to select that. Hide that. It's kind of annoying. And add selection to layer, and then hide it. Now we don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay, so basically to work with decals, you want to go to the texture set, which is under miscellaneous. Type in decal, You get all kinds of various decals to work with. You got blood, you got the moss, you got rust, ash as well, wherever that is. So, you know, a burnt area will have ash. You have your water puddles, all kinds of stuff. I like to work with the moss and the rust, and then the puddles a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. That actually, well, no, never mind. Forget it. So yeah, let's just stick with, well, yeah. We'll stick with the normal decals for now. Something else I want to hide. It's that right there. That right there. Yeah. Just hide that because they're really annoying. So let's take a look at this area here. I want to put down some rust. Or no, I want to put down moss because growth, you know, kind of just makes sense. So you can just go one by one through all the moss. I like 6, I suppose. What you're going to do is get this marker that's an arrow. How a texture set works is the marker points at an object, and that's where it's going to be placed. This just a flat 2D texture gets made kind of 3D. For example, I can put it over here. Notice how it kind of wraps around this piece. It wraps around the wall, even the bent wall. Wraps around this onto the door. So it can be really handy. You want to work with angles on this? Well, I guess not always, but for this purpose right now, yeah. I want to put this on the ground, so I'm going to rotate it towards facing the ground. And I'm going to move it somewhere more noticeable because it wasn't as dark as I thought it was. I think it's 6B is the nice, really dark one. Rotate it around. Remember that there's a couch here. So we'll just move it like there. And you want it to be close to what you're pointing at. Otherwise, it might not show up in the game if it's too far away. Even though it's visible in the CK, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be seen in the game. So I'm going to turn on this guy. So now we have this nice little kind of mud looking stuff. 6B might be darker. Yes, it definitely is. So look at that. You can adjust the size, the scale. Like normal, you'd hold S, except, you know, on most objects, you hold S and it's up or down or whatever. It's one axis. There's 2 on here. There is the width if you go up and down, and then there's length if you go left or right. And you can totally tweak it and really mess with it. Be a little weird. I guess I'll go like that. Looks pretty good to me. And move it around. Rotate it if you want. That looks pretty good. And so that's a really handy bit of knowledge right there. Again, we have some more right here, so I'm going to go with, I'm trying to remember what these look like. You kind of just place them on the wall and see what they are. This is not one that is commonly used. In fact, as you can see from here, the count, it has never been used in the entire game. This is a bit more normal. Oh. Just place that like that. This looks really nice like so. Get some dip over here. 8 is kind of a reddish pink sort of look. It's got some white debris in there. I think it goes well with Retro Theme Swap 01. That's pretty good. And you can add a ton of these. It's not really a resource heavy component. So, you know, go crazy, throw stuff around, test stuff. So it looks pretty interesting. Remember, you want it to be close to your object. I don't suggest putting it on movable objects, mainly because that's not something I've ever tested. I don't know how it's going to react when that door opens. So, let's find out. I'm going to leave it there, and later on we will test out that door. I remember last time I didn't have any bobby pins, so I'm going to unlock it for now. But yeah, start with the first area and just go crazy. Go one by one. There's some orange looking stuff like this. You can go like that if you want. Experiment. Throw it up on the walls. Go crazy. Remember, we can also throw it on rust as well. The rust can look really good. For now, what's 9? Let's find out what that is. Oh, it's pretty subtle. It's kind of nice. Yeah, you can throw textures together. I can put rust on top of something else. It's a pretty nice little feature to have. And I'm not a fan of that. Let's go 13, for example. What's that? Oh, it looks nice. Notice how it's sticking out over here. So I'm going to move this over. I think that's fine. It was pretty good. So as you can see, decals can be really fun because they don't need to be placed on something totally flat, you know, like the poster group here. You can go put it on this multi-layered mesh. Like MOS 10, what's that? As you can see, it can go through and stick around. But that particular example doesn't really work there, so I'm going to throw it on this one instead. You can add your own too. Make your own stuff in like Photoshop or whatever. I've done that in a couple mods. So for this one, I want the 6 because it's less noticeable. Because I'm going to be putting rust over here later. But remember earlier I mentioned crossing over the wall pieces can make things seem more seamless. Doing this is also recommended, so can make pieces seem to go together really well. So I think that room's probably fine with that. Over here I like to put stuff at an angle, like so. Oh. 45. So you can see it wraps around the stairs. It looks really nice. Adds a lot of detail. Remember, you want to do this at an angle. Otherwise, things get stretched very odd. So like that works pretty well. Something happened in here. Now let's switch over to rust. So I'm just going to type in rust. I want to add, so there are some good rusts and some really bad looking rust. Like I can't believe that's in the game. So you just go one by one. Take a look. Yeah, that seems pretty normal. Move it up and down. You don't want this cut off here. But looks pretty good. Let's add another here. Oh, I don't have the so this is an interesting one. Remember, this door is static, so we can just paint all day on that. Oh, look at that. Looks pretty nice. This is one of my more favorite rust pieces. You gotta be careful working with wood. I want to place something over here, but the wood is kind of bad. There are some more thin rust pieces. I'm not sure. Let's see here. See, this is an example of one of the bad looking rust pieces. It's actually floating above or in front of the wall. Looks really odd. Throw down another. Let's try that. Let's see the same thing. But it's really, if you lift it up more, it's a lot more subtle. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to go for on that piece. So I'm just throwing rust all over the place. Again, we can join two pieces of wall together with that. Oh, here's a light box. I want to put that in the hide this pile. And they're just layers. They won't take away at all from the game. The game just ignores that. Let's throw rust right here. Oh, that looks nice. I like that. You can see it's on the cardboard a little bit. I think that's fine. Oh yeah. Woo! Looks great. You can place stuff on the ceiling too. I'm not entirely sure how useful rust would be on the ceiling. It really depends on the particular rust, because a lot of things are like dripping down, for example, like that, or like this one. It starts out thick at the top and then fades out. A ceiling piece would need to be, you know, more omnidirectional, unlike this. Remember, we have a couch right here. There we go. I actually want to do that here to this wall piece as well. So I'm gonna thin it out. Very nice. Yeah, it looks pretty good. You're really making this place feel gross. Let's move along. So we did these areas. In here, we have a nice flat wall. Let's throw down, what was it, 6? I really like the look of 6. Yep, there it is. Let's go on up, back up to here now. Let's actually take this piece here. Throw it around over here. Looks nice. In here, these are all fairly nice looking. There's tiny bits of rust here. Let's really make it messy. Not like that though. What about this piece? Nope. It's a little bit better. But not quite there. Let's try 10. Oh yeah. Look at that mess. Isn't that perfect? Bring it up here and put it at an angle. Really make this place actually look like it hasn't been touched in a million years. It looks pretty okay. Let's try what 12 is. Sure, why not? Over here. This area is pretty clean. We don't want to go too crazy with that. Well, I think we'll have to throw this over here instead. Something crazy went over here. Let's see, 14. See, again, it's just dripping from as a giant wall piece. Same thing on that. That's nothing. Let's see what that is. Nothing. All right. I think it was, no, not 5, maybe 6? No. 3? Nope. 4? What is it that I'm looking for? 5? No, it wasn't 5. Oh, it was 5. Yeah, I wanted this one. I need to scale it down a whole lot. That. So what was once a very clean dining area has now become quite horrendous. I'm going to switch over to moss. Get some growth in here. Place this on the tables even. Particularly in this one here because of how... I don't want white though. Yeah, I guess this one works. Of how it's in the light. So it really makes it look pretty bad. Let's check out 3. I think 3 is, yeah, it's orange. Not really a good one. That is for probably an exterior cell or cave style. That's just bad texture. Oh, that looks nice. I like that one. That's a really nice one. We can throw that in this corner maybe. Well, I guess I lied. This is just as long, if not longer, than the last video. Okay, just making sure that we've been placing this in the decals layer. I want 6B is the really dark one. What was 5 again? Oh yeah, sure, why not? I can actually place this like so. Throw it over here. So cave opening, I want to put down 6B. Looks pretty good. And then I'm going to throw down 6 normal. Directly, oh. below it. If you want to make it darker, you can double down on it by duplicating it. Looks pretty good though. Now we got the bathroom. Let's put 6B in here. This is the men's side, right? Yeah. So, you know, the men's bathroom is always much worse. It doesn't really fit. What was 8 again? Oh yeah, that's this one here. Let's put that on the floor. I'm trying to avoid these areas for the decal. It can be up there a little bit, but a lot of times it looks out of place. So we'll avoid that. Let's add 13B in the right here. Go like this and like that. Get some of it on that. Oh yeah, look at that. And it's going to be up here a little bit. So as you can see here, we have some sticking up over here because of this. That may not go through in the actual game. We'll find out later. Let's keep an eye out on that. If we can add some more detail. It's number 6. That. Nope. Yeah, I'm actually going to put that over there. And I want to put something around here. I think, what is 13C? Oh. That's interesting. Yeah, it doesn't really fit. 14B? Yeah, that works. Wait a minute. Is that, oh, it is different. Alright. Yeah. See how it just cuts off like that? I don't like that. So we gotta mess with it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And it looks like we are now done with the decals. So what did we do? We added some layers. We added some decals. We did another detailing of the interior. And I think that's it for this interior. I mean, this part of the interior series. So I'm going to hit save. I haven't done that in a while. Woo! That would have been bad if the game crashed, or the CK crashed. Let's take a look at it in game. So let's hop in there. Alright, here we are in our interior. I haven't taken a look around yet, so I'll turn it off. Let's begin our walkthrough and check. So looks pretty good. The decals look pretty nice. Got our plunger from up here. Oh, that works pretty well. Looks nice. So yeah, we have our texture here, but it didn't overlay onto the door, which is something acceptable. Yeah, these wall pieces look much nicer now. Very nice. Oh yeah, I wanted to put rust right there. Oh, well. Looks nice. It doesn't get in our way of looting that box. Cool. So we have a lot of detail on these stairs now. Pretty nice. And, well, I guess disgusting, but in a good way. In a Fallout way. Let's go on up here. Nothing sticking through the floor. Pretty good mess here. Oh. Wow. Do not want to eat here. Here. Just got some doors that are damaged. One thing I wanted to check was the somewhere over here if the texture was going through the ceiling. And it is. So it's going through the ceiling, but for now, as is, it looks alright. And yeah, you can get to the first aid over here if you look for it. There's no way you can know it's there, huh? Nope. And yeah. Well, that is the tour of our interior so far. It looks much more presentable as part of a mod. I'm thinking of what to do next time. I'm thinking splines, which are kind of like these cables, but actual wires. So maybe we'll do that. We'll do some acoustic spaces. We'll do what else? If we have time. I like to keep these within an hour. I know this one's a little over, but I think it's alright. If we have time, we'll also do the ambient lighting templates. Because I'm not really a fan of this template, how it turns kind of dirt colored over there. So, yeah. That's our interior so far. It's turning out to be pretty good, even though the player is going to literally do this. Done. Some people do that. But, yeah. I'll catch you next time. Peace. On the left, you'll see more Fallout videos. And on the right are some more Op Salvo specific videos. Check out facebook.com/NeherMods to stay up to date. And yeah, subscribe or whatever. Let's get to 1,000. Sedante promised me something at 1,000 subs, so yeah.